What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Talking Pigskin Week 13 edition, a special Thanksgiving edition. Last week was pretty bad for me. I went 2-3. I did not expect the Packers and the Rams to get routed the way they did. It was shocking. We expect those games to be very good. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out the way I thought it would be. On the bright side, the New York Jets all of a sudden are looking good because I'm not talking about them. So let's keep that going. So with Thanksgiving ahead, I want to do a quick preview of just one game tomorrow where the Dallas Cowboys will host the Buffalo Bills, only because that's the only game tomorrow that actually has a lot of meaning behind it. So the Buffalo Bills and Dallas Cowboys. A lot of you may remember the early 90s Super Bowls when the Bills and the Cowboys faced each other. This is not a rivalry from recent memories, but it's from the 90s. So I'm sure the Bills with an 8-3 record are going down there with a flying high, thinking all good about themselves to take on a Cowboys team who are not performing as nearly as well as they should with the roster they have. Dak Prescott has been playing okay, but he hasn't been making the game-winning plays. Same goes for Amari Cooper, Zeke as well. They got to get this right before it's too late. The Eagles are 5-6, but they're right up Cowboys' rear end for this division. On the other side, the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen and that offense, who has been serviceable to say the least. They haven't been explosive or anything like that, but they have been doing just right. On the other side, the defensive side of the ball, the Bills are amazing. They have the top 10 defense. They're going to have their hands full with Zeke and the rest of that offense from the Cowboys side. So this is going to be a fun game to watch. I think in a very close game, the Cowboys can I give the Cowboys the edge to eke out a victory, but I wouldn't be surprised if Buffalo wins it, actually. So Cowboys it is. Let's move on to Sunday's game, and the first game we got is the San Francisco 49ers going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Now, this is something I don't understand. In this day and age, the NFL has a flex option to move out a game that they think is high, doesn't have any big impact on the standings and playoff implications, and move it to Sunday Night Football so for the country can watch it. You put the Niners and the Ravens at a 1 o'clock slot. I don't understand it. Had it moved to 4 o'clock, it would even be somewhat acceptable, but I don't know why we're getting that. Most of the country will not be able to see it as this game will be regionalized. So it's unfortunate, but it's going to be a hell of a game to watch. The Niners coming off that beatdown over the Packers, traveling cross-country playing a 1 o'clock game. Jimmy Garoppolo has been playing well. He hasn't been great, lights out, or anything like that. But that defense, nothing can be said about Richard Sherman, Nick Bosa, and company. They have been absolutely amazing, to say the least. Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Action Jackson has been doing his thing as well. We definitely haven't seen anything like this, so it's probably not fair to him if you compare him to Mike Vick or Randall Cunningham or any other previous running quarterbacks, because Lamar Jackson is just in a class of his own right now, and he's feeling himself. The defense is also playing very good, so the Ravens, at home, they'll get the advantage, but I'm going to take the Niners on the road just because I think that defense is playing at such a high level that we're able to figure out a way to stop Lamar Jackson or at least slow him down so other teams can take notice and try to use that, especially the Jets in a few weeks when they play the Ravens. So Niners on the road. Moving on to a 4 o'clock game where the Raiders will be traveling to Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Chiefs. The Raiders got shellacked by the Jets, which I didn't even see it coming. Trust me, it was great to watch, but at the same time, you expected Raiders to show up more. Derek Carr was basically nowhere to be found that week. It doesn't help the fact that Tyrell Williams and Hunter Renfrow kept dropping catches. Josh Jacobs didn't get the ball running as well. So I think they're going to try to have a bounce-back game, but it's going to be hard going into Kansas City and to keep toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes with that offense. Granted, the Chiefs' defense is absolutely horrific, so Raiders can't move the ball on them, but can they keep up on scoring? Because the Raiders' defense is absolute garbage as well. So this is going to be a high-scoring shootout. Mahomes coming off a bye week. I think he's fully healthy now. I think the Chiefs will win at home. Next game we got is the New England Patriots traveling to Houston to take on the Texans. Now, the Patriots haven't been the Patriots that we know from the years before. They're playing very well on defense. They're relying on that defense, but the offense hasn't been doing much. N'Keal Harry came back last year and scored a touchdown. They only scored a touchdown to beat the Cowboys. It's alarming. Like, Brady is getting up there in age, but I'm not going to go out there and say he's losing it, but he is slowing down badly, and I think he needs to get his supporting cast rolling too. Sony Michel, Rex Burkhead, James White, they all got to get rolling. Julian Edelman is the only receiver that can actually do damage on their receiving core, so hopefully they can get it together. But going to Texans, they're coming off a huge win against the Colts. They're holding a slim one-game lead on the AFC South, so I think Deshaun Watson will have a lot to show on Sunday night. He always had good games against the Patriots, so maybe this time he will be able to take them home. And I'm going to pick the Texans at home to take care of business, to take down the Patriots. And the last game we have is Monday Night Football, where the Minnesota Vikings will travel to Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Now, on paper, this is probably the best game outside of the Ravens and Niners game this week. But this game has so many major playoff implications, especially on the NFC side of the NFL. So this is going to be fun to watch. Kirk Cousins on Monday Night Football or any primetime football usually shrinks. So hopefully he will show up in Seattle, or the other side, Russell Wilson lives for these type of games. He's definitely going to bring it. The Seahawks defense hasn't been great, but their offense has been doing well because Russell Wilson has keeping them up with scoring, and Tyler Lockett has been playing very good, as well as DK Metcalf. But the Vikings, on the other hand, Dalvin Cook needs to run the ball as much as possible. Kirk Cousins needs to do limited throwing just because I don't trust him on a primetime stage. So hopefully they can play ball control offense and take care of the Seahawks. If I just don't see it happening, I'm taking the Seahawks at home to take care of business. So there you have it. You have the Cowboys tomorrow, and then on Sunday you have the 49ers, the Chiefs, the Texans, and Monday night I have the Seahawks. So there you have it. Everyone have a great Thanksgiving. And the New York Jets will be playing the Cincinnati Bengals. And I will not be picking that game once again. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Eat up. I'll see you next week.